Hey, here's me just sending a text to AZ, who's going to join us, apparently. Mr. Gregory, hello, sir. How are you? I'm fine. I hope all is well with you as well. So we are going to be having fun times with AZ tonight. Be anywhere from, the next 5 minutes to an hour from now. Who knows? It's one of life's little mysteries, and our life is richer for having mystery in it. So we continue, and I hope that things go well. Fox, good evening. Yes, true, Fox. Saying fun times with AZ could get him excited in the wrong way. Being boss of the house is around to keep that sort of shenanigans in check. But we shall see what happens. Indeed. Yeah, I don't know what's happening for anyone else. It's Wednesday night, hump day, halfway through the week, work week. Of course, not everyone has a Monday to Friday week. I do, and I believe the universe revolves around me, so I praise everything in relation to my experiences and expectations, because that seems like a reasonable way for me to behave, and not at all narcissistic. But that's just my take on the one. My fucking beard always gets all over the place, and I just trimmed it as well. I'm really bad at trimming it, so I think I trimmed it really unevenly. Maybe I should go to a gentleman's barber and get it trimmed properly. Don't know if I want a haircut, though. I was waiting for that message, and it took for fucking ever from AZ. Yes. Growing my hair for, I don't know, 8 months, something. No, I think I got a haircut in May. I think before the big lockdown in Melbourne. And fucking time means nothing, so I don't remember when anything happened. I don't remember when anything started. I don't remember when anything finished. Time is a meaningless abstraction, and it continues to behave in ways that I do not approve of. I see the progression of time, and I disapprove of what I am seeing. I think it should work differently. I think I shouldn't constantly get reminders of how old I am, whether it's remembering how long ago something happened, or just my fucking knees when I get up out of a chair. Oh, remember there was a time that I could get up out of a chair without going, ah! And that just seems a normal thing to do now. I've got to move. Moving didn't always seem that big a fucking hassle, but it really does now. It seems really shit. I juiced some oranges. And so tonight's non-alcoholic beverage is fresh orange juice and lemonade, because I got my juicer that I opened in last night's stream, and I tried it out, and it is indeed very effective. Absolutely squooshes it. Maybe I should try and peel the oranges before I put them in, but I don't know if I've ever tried to peel an orange. But yeah. Musical Aviator, throughout 2020, constantly surprised when I remember a thing that happened in January, February 2020 was 2020 memory, not like a 1990 memory. Yes. We entered this zone where time both moved far too quickly and also stopped moving altogether. It was most unacceptable that we were in that bizarre, contradictory universe. Invisible Chicken, hello. Feel like I haven't seen you in ages. I hope you are well. Just discussing time and its shortcomings, quite honestly. I mean, I was flicking through channels on the TV the other day, and Donnie Brasco was on. And I thought, oh, watch it. This was like on Sunday. I'm doing laundry sorting. I thought, okay, I got to sit here for a while and sort laundry. So, oh, look, Donnie Brasco. That's okay. I'll watch that. Old gangster movie, Johnny Depp and Al Pacino. And I'm watching it and go, they look really fucking young. And I mean, really fucking young. And so I looked up when it was made, and it was like released in 97. So it was shot 25 years ago. That's why they look so young, because it was shot 25 years ago. So I don't want to be an enormous bummer to people in their 20s, but it will come a time when you watch something that you remember quite clearly when it came out, and then you'll look, and that will have been 25 years ago. And you go, bugger me. That is not acceptable, honestly. I'm glad you're being okay, Mr. Butchicken. And glad you're here to hang out. Here to hang, got to chill, got to jive. I am not a cat. Apparently, the I am not a cat lawyer is a piece of shit. And, well, I think that's good, because then we can just mock him for being a stupid old boomer fuck who has humiliated himself on the world stage, because he's a piece of shit lawyer. So I think that works out quite well. Some people say, oh, it's all mirth, but you know he's a piece of shit who did these things. Yeah, well, no, I'm just laughing at him because he's a piece of shit boomer who just humiliated himself. So I'm down with that. It's like the other wacky video the other day. Jackie Weaver, the parish council meeting from the UK. See, when I saw Jackie Weaver trending on Twitter, I went, oh no, don't tell me wonderful actress Jackie Weaver has died. Oh no. And it wasn't this. It was another Jackie Weaver who was facilitating a parish council meeting in the UK, and just a Zoom meeting, and just fucking taking no bullshit from these guys trying to bully it. It's pretty cool, actually. I saw an interview with her. She seems really cool. Music Aviator, Hanging Rock film showing at Hanging Rock would end on Saturday night. God, if it's the original Hanging Rock film, I saw that in school in the 70s. Anna Morgan, hello in Canada. Oh, no, you can't sleep. Baby's kicking the crap out of me. We are obviously in a third trimester. If it's the wakey baby kicks, seriously into the third trimester, I imagine. What an experience. What a magical experience. Obviously, I experienced it in the abstract. But yes, it is a weird thing, isn't it? Again, due March 28. Oh, wow. It's getting exciting now. Excellent stuff. And hello, Inner Deviant on Twitch. So Wow, that's not even 2 months. That's like 8 weeks. Okay, exciting times for you, Anna. Not great when your sleep's disrupted because there's a living thing inside you moving around, which is weird. It's just weird. There's another problem I have with the concept of intelligent design, a creationist in a cheap suit and a comb over. Um, if I were an intelligent designer, I'd keep sex, certainly, but the whole gestation and the discomfort and the attendant health risks as well, I don't know. I think people intending to conceive should just have a thing where you touch fingers and your DNA combines and, bloop, and this thing just sort of starts replicating and baby. That's what it should be if you're intelligent. That is looking on the bright side and a benefit of COVID-19, not having to go anywhere. So your sleep schedule can kind of relax. Yeah, working from home is a fucking treat because if I find, I'm not saying people on this stream lead me astray and convince me to have a couple of bevies on a work night, but it does happen sometimes. And then if I'm absolutely wasted halfway through the day, I can just go and lie down for half an hour. I don't like to do it for more than half an hour because I think then that messes with my sleep that night. But just put a little timer on, go to sleep for half an hour because I can do that and then just go back and do my work. It's fucking great. The idea of going back to the office sucks so hard. I won't have to do it for at least a couple months, I don't think. Gives me anxiety. Well, it doesn't really give me anxiety. I'm just not happy with the thought of commuting and being in an office again. It sucks. I'm going to sneeze. Oh. Anna, still making drinks, most definitely. Got my cocktail channel, Angry Cocktails, going great guns. In a deviant, this is literally just orange juice I squeezed a little while ago and lemonade. So start things off with a non-alcoholic beverage and think of where to go from there. Hello, Megalich. Fox, cocktails for next week. Yes, because it's Wednesday and I've got to have them ready by Friday. Well, I found a Pims cocktail that sounded good because someone convinced me to buy Pims a while back and I put it in a few things and I haven't touched it in ages. And I was just on the I was just on the liquor.com website and they had a thing on Pims thing. Anna Morgan, you miss your rum and coke. You're being responsible and not drinking during pregnancy. Good. Abigail, I'm alive. Speaking of Star Trek, Abigail, and cocktails I'm going to make. I had always wanted to make cocktails on the channel and have people here and do something with people. And I definitely at some point, Abigail, want to do Star Trek themed cocktails with you. Fox should make a blood and sand. Think of another citrus to substitute OJ for. See, it's fun to substitute things, I think, because just changing one ingredient can give a whole new life to a drink. Celtic, if started your own nation would migrate to Celtic land. No, don't take it too hard, but no, I would not. Oh, nice. You're doing that would be, mimosa. I guess, are you talking about me? This is mimosa for non-alcoholic. Oh, this is like a non-alcoholic mimosa. Because a mimosa is just orange juice and bubbles. And this is the non-alcoholic version. Orange juice and lemonade. It's yummy. That is a good uh, uh, goal to have, Abigail. Bring Paul McGann's Doctor to the public eye more. I saw, Invisible Chicken, you've been making alcoholic cocktails for your mum and you yourself don't drink, which is interesting, certainly. Yeah, I have to admit that having seen How to Drink's epic 42 Manhattan cocktail video where he misjudged things and got shit-faced and I think ended up in getting a hospital visit, I have wanted to experiment a bit with Manhattans because I've got a few things I could make it with. Oh, the fridge is singing the song of its people. Excellent stuff. Celtic. You want people to move to Celtic land? I don't. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's a reference to my T-shirt. Yes, the Who's a spoof on a classic thing of the Who, and yes, so there's Paul McGann's Doctor and Tom Baker's and Matt Smith's, and who's the drummer? Oh yeah, David Tennant is the drummer. They've got little Dalek patterns on the drums. This is the first T Fury T-shirt I bought. So that was probably fucking 10 years ago. God, I've had this shirt for a long time. But yes, I have a lot of Doctor Who themed shirts courtesy of T Fury. I might sign up for their newsletter again to see if they're doing it. As I've mentioned a couple of times, apparently they had about 2 years ago, they had a very bad problem with logistics and order fulfillment, and people weren't getting their shirts, or it was taking months to get their shirt, and they got a really bad reputation and a lot of like consumer affairs complaints, and which I'd never experienced because I hadn't bought a shirt from them for a while. Oh, damn, Abigail, speaking of Star Trek, in a lot of pain today, and your arms feel like they have lead weights attached. That's not good. That seems like the Q continuum messing with you. Actually, speaking of Star Trek, I was doing the old random jump between videos on YouTube, and I happened upon one called Star Trek Acid Party, is where someone had just spliced a bunch of stuff from different episodes and put all wacky filters on it, like, someone had dosed the crew with acid, and there were some fun visuals in it, but the music was kind of shit. Like, the music should have been like 90s acid house, or at least fucking, dubstep or drum and bass. The music was actually really boring. The visuals were really quite cool, but I could have done with it being some decent music in it. And I can't wait to fit into some of your shirts again. Yes. Yep. The what you go through to bring a baby into the world is pretty full on. Yes. Invisible Chicken. So you're making a non-alcoholic mimosa with non-alcoholic wine, orange juice. The dry London Spirit, the dry gin sub. Wow, that's really complex. So you're doing the non-alcoholic gin substitute and the non-alcoholic vermouth substitute and vanilla syrup. Wow. What do you call that one? So it's non-alcoholic wine, orange juice. That's a really complex mimosas. Mimosas are normally shit. I think your non-alcoholic mimosa much better than the average alcoholic mimosa, because all they tend to do is orange juice and bubbles. Yours sounds amazing. So that's, I'm sure gin and vermouth has a name, actually. Uh, oh, it's a martini. I'm going, gin and vermouth, that's a drink. It's a martini. But yeah, you've really diverged. You're crossing a mimosa with a martini. That's very interesting. Oh my god, Anna Morgan, the pants thing, and of course, it's the frustrating thing is the pants thing is only for a really limited amount of time too. You can get those funny expander things, which is very weird. I'm sorry, I'm going to sneeze again. I can feel it. No, yes, no. Oh, so Invisible Chicken, that's a recipe that Liars actually gave. So it's a Liars Festive Mimosa. Well, they've really gone to town with making it interesting. Much more interesting than an average mimosa. Celtic King, you want to try different alcohols. You just add beer, rum, and vodka mixed with Coke. I mean, I never drank beer, and about, I don't know, 10 years ago, I like it was actually longer now, like 12, 13 years ago, when I was at YouTube things, used to jokingly, order the girliest drink they've got. I, get frothy cocktails. I wasn't very serious about it. And I don't know, how long ago was it? About 6 years ago, I started messing about with flavoring alcohol. And that's just like clear spirits like vodka, tequila, or whatnot. And I'd make simple drinks with that. And then it was probably about 4 years ago, I started experimenting with cocktails and got really seriously into it about 2 years ago. And then that has grown, that collection doubled in the last year. Because Toby got called sexy by a random bloke, but the guy realized Toby was male. So I assume that was Toby's beautiful flowing hair, and he was seen from the back. I think if the guy withdrew his sexy comment, I object. The sexy comment should have stayed in place. Like, even if it's, my mistake, not actually interested, but still sexy, should have stayed there. Oh god, yeah, I could imagine because you're in like lockdown. We had our lockdown mid last year, second half of last year. Yes, shopping's hard, stupid expensive. God, I was therapy shopping online all through lockdown. Now I can go out to the shops. Don't really want to, because every now and then there are cases in the wild. And so this is it. In Australia at the moment, we freak out at individual cases. Oh my God, someone who came back from overseas and was supposed to be in quarantine was actually contagious when they were out in the world, and they fucking visited all these places and gave it to people. It was like, US is getting 3,000 to 5,000 deaths a day, and we freak out at individual cases because, we are by and large COVID free, and everyone wants to keep it that way. In the recovery phase now. Adelaide's going to shut the border with Victoria tonight because we've had a little outbreak in one of our quarantine hotels. I think at least 3 or 4 cases. And now they think the culprit was someone who was contagious, had a nebulizer, and that was just like basically pushing infected air out of the corridors, and got some people infected. So, yes. The quarantine system is very leaky. It's just proven to be far more difficult than virtually anyone thought it would be. Celtic King, the sexy comment was from Brian. They took it back. Yeah, I thought it was a shit. Yes. I thought it was a shit act to take it back. You can, like I said, you can also say, "Oh, didn't realize you're a dude. I don't actually go for dudes. You are sexy though. You know, it's not hard. It's not hard." Toby does have lovely flowing long hair, so I wonder if that will give that guy any pause about just was it a respectful "you're sexy" or was it really obnoxious? That's my question, because that's the important thing. And speaking of possibly sexy or obnoxious, it's AZ.
I can be both sexy and obnoxious. I think
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
What happens is that I'll do some. I'm just gonna go pointed, and go mouth work, and tell jokes at the same time. And people go, I want to hear the jokes, but all I'm getting is Irishman.
Yeah.
Three Jews. I'm telling everyone.
Now we can all get some sleep. Do you remember that one? Blast from the past.
Fuck. Oh, catch that, eh?
That never took off. Actually, that's interesting. I was just talking to Invisible Chicken, who had been indulging, because there's a whole bunch of non-alcoholic spirits on the market at the moment, and Invisible Chicken, being a teetotaler, has been experimenting with them, like making cocktails with things that taste like alcoholic beverages but aren't alcoholic. And that's Jack Thompson's Clayton's ad. That never really took off. That was basically meant to sort of look and taste like whiskey, so you could drink it in a pub when you weren't. Never really took off. But it was interesting. That's something you might not be aware of, Invisible Chicken. Approximately 30 years ago, they tried
Keep
to...
going, mate. Keep going.
Yeah.
40.
Yeah, it's probably that long ago.
Yeah.
And so it actually became a bit of slang. Clayton's was the drink you have when you're not having a drink. So when something was an imitation of something, you'd call it a Clayton's.
It was a bit of a Clayton's movie. It was a bit of a Clayton's route. It was a bit of a Clayton's pizza. It was a bit of a Clayton's car. It's a thing that's not right, not genuine, and inferior. It was always inferior and not genuine. So you get guys saying, how was the land sale? Oh, it was a bit of a Clayton's auction. They were trying to sell us the shit blocks down at the back of Girlang, and fucking no one wanted them. So the Crowies came in, and now they're saying they're going to put fucking townhouses on it, and they'll never get the fucking planning for that. They did, and made millions of bucks out of them. Except now they've fallen into the fucking soil like everyone said they would. Your builder's warranty only lasts 24 months, and then it's over.
We've got Anna from Canada in the chat, who has don't remember you popping up in the chat recently, but long-time viewer of the channel. She's going, oh my God, he still pops up in the stream. And from all the videos, he still looks the same. So Anna thinks you're still your same sprightly self. So
good on you, Anna. Anna, you're in. Grab your coat. You've scored.
Yeah. Was it the phrase was grab your coat, you've pulled?
What?
That phrase, grab your coat, you've pulled. And I was just like, and there was such an Australian saying, and you say to someone from another country, and they just give you a look like, fucking what?
No, you can say it in Scotland.
Scotland. Yeah, virtually any gross Australianism translates perfectly to Scotland.
Fucking, I had a young lady say that to me in Scotland.
Yeah.
And I was in an awkward position because I had a young Swiss German man say, Thank you, darling. It's a bit complicated, but he's actually going home with me after a very difficult night. Les, maybe you want to come and play. And she was going, no, it's okay. Don't do parties. And she's turned around and she's turned around and gone, hey, you, grab your coat, you scored. And it was, boy. And fucking put half a pint down and fucking left with her. And I thought, ooh, yep.
Yeah.
He fucking saw a good thing coming and did not fuck around.
Yep, fair enough.
I was just going, Ferris,
yeah.
Ferris. All right. And he gave it one of those as he walked out the door with her, and they're going, all right, on your Ferris. And one of them even called out, take your fucking snorkel.
And also, Anna, thank you for saying don't cover up the greys. They look good. The greys have a few votes of endorsement. So I'm also, I toyed for years with, at some point, lad, you're going to act your age and stop colouring your hair. And COVID just sort of made the decision. I mean, I could have coloured it during COVID, but I was just like, yeah, fuck everything. I've just been...
I'd probably still be blue if it wasn't for the Fournier's gangrene. Because I said to the doctors and nurses, I want to colour my hair blue. And they went, no. And I went, why? And they said, well, we don't want any chemicals introduced into your body until we say.
Yeah.
Because we are very, very judicious about what goes near you. You probably noticed that we're very it was the first time that I twigged onto it. We're very cautious about who we let near you. Went, right. You notice it's only been your family. I'm going, oh. So, because I was under the impression that my mates had fucking abandoned me. Like, no bastard was there to fucking say hello to me. But no, they didn't let anyone in for the first month and a half because they expected I was just going to die.
Yes.
They just didn't let anyone in. And then they were slowly allowing people in, and they were fully gowned up. A couple of them said, yeah, we had a bit of a spritz down before we came. I went, oh, really? They sprayed you with water, and they said, not water. It was alcohol mixed with chlorhexidine, and they fucking meant it.
Holy cow! Okay.
And they said take your clothes off down to your pants, like keep your trousers on, but take your clothes right off. And they're going, hey. And these nurses were spit, rub. Okay, close your eyes on the face, through the hair, and they're all going, I'm a young man with fashion sense, not for this. And then they said, you can put your shirt back on, and they said, oh, it's damp. Yes, we put chlorhexidine and fucking alcohol all through it. So I'd see these guys, and they smelled great. And I'd say, oh, you wearing a new cologne? And they'd go, yes. Plus, full gown and mask. And I'm going, oh, so they don't want you to catch what I've got. And they've gone, no. Because they were also told not to shock, disturb, or distress me. So I got the weirdest fucking conversations for the first month of visitors. And then after that, it just got fucking free for all.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
But they wouldn't let me dye my hair, and I haven't since.
I just got lazy and didn't dye my hair or cut it. So it's now I could do a little tiny little ponytail now.
You can be fashionable with a tiny little bun.
I could do the man. It's long enough on the top. I could do the man bun on the top.
You could do the man bun, and people who are old enough could say, what's the fucking point of that? Why do you need to pull that back? But I, of course, being old now, know not to get in punch-ups anymore because I lose them.
Yeah.
I still haven't got my good metal stick back. from my swordsmith friend.
Yes. Needs to do some repairs in the forge.
He's making me a new one.
A
The
new
old
one?
one, he says, I've repaired it 7 times. I'm getting you a new one. But he's got 6 months worth of back orders to fulfill.
Of course he does.
And he's running around like a blue-ass fly. So
Yeah.
I could be waiting a little while for my stick.
So, and is it going grey at 30 and you love it? I think I saw my first grey hairs at about 27. And, but, you know, being a sort of post-punk type lad that I was dyeing my natural hair color is like very dark brown, looks black. But then I started dyeing it blue-black because it's that really deep sort of fake color. And I did that for a long time.
Yes, you did.
I remember...
I like the purple phase.
Well, that's when I noticed I had natural highlights. In other words, if I put something that had any color in it, the gray would pick up all the color, natural highlights. But I remember after I'd been... Because I started dyeing my hair in my 20s, just because I wanted that really blue-black. And somewhere in my 40s, my mum says, "Oh, you're the only one whose hair hasn't gone grey." I went, this is not a natural color. What about this color looks natural? And then she smacked me for making her look silly, I think, because that was my fault.
Mothers are good like that.
Yeah.
My mother's awfully good like that. My mum would sit at the dinner table, and if she'd had enough of your shit, would pick up a teaspoon and throw it at your fucking head. And you go, boing on your head, and you go, oh, shit. Right. And it fucking hurt.
I was going to say, God, checking your reaction times.
That
wow.
middle brother Jason did something wrong.
Yeah.
Because he used to beg a spoon at him, and it actually go ding. It actually make a sound on his skull. Go,
oh my God!
Ding. Everyone else would just go twack, and oh fuck. But with him, it'd go doom. We'll just shit ourselves laughing. And the youngest fella, just thought this is a fucking great joke until he pissed off Mum one day and got his first teaspoon, and he's gone, Christ, that hurts so much. And me and the other brother were fucking like, yes.
Oh my God.
Finally,
oh
the boy
God.
has become a man. He understands the futility of upsetting Mum.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I'm going to be marked forever. And we just were crying with laughter. And he behaved himself after that.
As you do.
He only fucking made those mistakes a couple of times. I was a slow learner. I used to get 2-3 teaspoons. Jason would get 1. And Ross would get 2. And you wouldn't do it again.
Yeah.
And you could see Mum creeping toward a teaspoon because she never had sugar in her tea. She just used to have a teaspoon. And you could always tell when she was not to be fucked with because there'd be 1, 2, 3 teaspoons lined up in front of her. It was like, ooh, fucking very well behaved tonight, boys. And one of us would always miss the table setting and start fucking up and mouthing off. And it was like, no, you've missed it. And then the first one would be twang. Bing.
Bing.
But I always used to notice the 3 spoons and be like, you're quiet tonight, Aidsy? Yes, I am.
Yeah, because I don't want to spoon at my head.
I'm keeping my fucking head down, which is something I never do. Funniest thing that happened was when I left home, which was necessary. I got a phone call from my brother going, how do you fucking do it? And I said, what do you mean? He says, right, you've got to organise the kid, clean up the house, get the food on the table was just started, set up the house for nighttime and get your fucking homework done while all this shit is going on. And then when the folks come home and fucking throw everything out of fucking whack, like all the timing out, you've just got to handle. And I said, well, you will get used to it. And he's looking for fucking bullshit. And then you say something and you've done wrong, and then you're in the shit for a week. And I said, well, what did you do before? He said, I just used to watch you and not do what you did.
Oh, no.
Every time you fucked up, I just kept my head down. I'm going, right, well, welcome to my world. When do you do fucking homework? Late. I can get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and swim. I know. You'll be finishing your homework at 1. Don't worry about it. Turn your AM radio all the way up and you can listen to ABC TV as you're doing your homework. And it's on nice and low. And you'll be fine. You can be listening to TV, docos, just something buzzing in the background to take your mind off maths or English. He had an English teacher that hated him. And I had her. And my mother said, oh, she fucking hates him. And he'd come home from school and Mum, and I was in uni at this point.
Yeah.
And Mum would go, what'd you get for your essay? And he had 16. And there were no spelling mistakes in it. That was always Mum Achilles' heel because I'm thinking. And I said that in a offensive way. And I told you earlier I was being non-offensive, but I was just like, you fuck. Low IQ, learning disability, we call it now. Dyslexic as fuck. And I would spell shit wrong and I would get like 19. And anyway, he said, she fucking just hates me. I just can't do anything right. And I said, oh, bullshit, man. Fucking, he gives your essays off. I can take you through a few things. And I looked at his essays and went, no, it's all right. He's got his axioms and his argument. And he's got an interesting point, which is what they always were looking for. And he's proved his interesting point and he's referenced it properly. I can't see a real problem with that. His spelling's fucking awesome. He's typed it out himself, not, getting Mum to do it. Because Mum would fucking type shit out, and if you'd spelt something wrong, she would spell it wrong. So in one of my essays, it said Gandalf the Lizard.
Lizard.
Anyway, and I copped a lot of shit in the morning from that. Anyway, I said, Mum said, I tell you what, why don't you write Jason's next essay in his voice? Because, I was starting to do radio and I could start to do that. And we'll see how you go. And she said, you know what, don't even worry about his voice. You just do the essay on your terms. You are a first-year double English major, which was the most stupid and retarded thing to do, all right, because I was the retard thing to do because I was fucked at English and dyslexic and, just slowed, made slow. So I wrote this essay for him and it was a fucking gem of a piece of work. I was looking at I fucking researched it properly. I actually read the book. Researched this properly and went through it a couple of times, made sure my axioms were fucking spot on, made sure my arguments were dead fucking clean, made sure my premise was interesting but provable, proved every point, and got it in, came back, 16. I'm going, you are fucking kidding me. And he went, yep, that's what you get. And I'm going, nah, fuck off. That's fuck off. And as a ploy My mother had photocopied the essay, and she said, I want you to send this to one of your lecturers and say, just as a piece of work, can you just give me pointers on it?
Yeah.
So we sent it to one of my English lecturers who didn't like me because they thought I had criticised their lesbian lifestyle. This was the days of the feminazis. So my life was made miserable for 3 fucking years until I turned up in the gay Mardi Gras Pride Parade. And they're going, what the fuck are you doing here? And I said, I've got a membership card.
Membership card.
I am part of the gang. I went, but, you hate lesbians. Hate lesbians? Fucking Susanna Post is fucking my sponsor for comedy. Jesus. Fucking, and I was, talking about all the gays that had fucking supported me. And, and I say, and now I won't go through the list of people that I've been with. No, lesbians are my mates. Yeah, my peeps. And they went, we've clearly had the wrong idea about you. And I've gone, well, I'm glad. No, I'm not glad.
No, glad it's cleared up though.
But before this,
yes,
she didn't like me. She's read through it. She said, "What's this for?" And I said, "Oh, it's a paper I'm doing for a local paper, paper in Canberra, and I just wanted a peer review, basically." And she said, "It's actually very good. You've even gone through your spelling properly this time, and you've clearly read the book, which is unusual."
Yeah.
However, she had a point. And she said, I can't. I would have had to give you a 19.5. And I said, not a 20. And she said, no one gets a 20, dickhead. I just thought that was funny. And she said, and you never get a 20. And I'm going, well, fucking that says it. So a 19.5 from her, thinking that I was this bogan fucking homophobe. And 16 from my old high school teacher. And if it was, she knew it was me, I would have got a 19 easy.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. And we all came about that because I was talking about, my brothers and their ways. And we're talking about, and the reason this came up was that my youngest brother, when the congratulation happened with the plumbing company, was left in Albury doing his degree in a flat that he was renting. And he had no contact with his folks who was paying his rent for 2 months. And his landlord was physically coming over and screaming at him in Macedonian Greek and demanding rent that he didn't have and food that he didn't have. And his mates all came down one weekend and completely redecorated his house and slipped him like, good morning, Diblin 85, Diblin 85.
It's Canada represent Dibben, a friend of Kip's. Yeah.
I miss Kip too.
Yeah. I mean,
he was fucking really fucking scoring goals there toward the end.
Yeah.
I reckon he would have been one of our superstars now.
Yeah, we were just shaping up all sorts of big things. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I still,
he was on his way. He had sorted a lot of his shit out.
Yeah.
And worked out where he was. It took me a long time to get through to him that he didn't have ADHD. He had a motivation problem. And the way I did it was I said, you don't know about ADHD. And he said, yeah, I know I do. I said, you sit in front of your fucking synthesizer and 6 hours later, you'll notice the sun's gone down and you've got half a song done. And he goes, oh, yeah. and 6 hours later, the only reason you get up is that piss has finally got to happen. The one you needed 4 hours ago, finally got to happen. And he said, yeah. And and he started to get along those lines and going, all right, well, let's motivate, let's do this, let's do that. And he was like really kicking goals. And then poor bugger died. And I was disappointed. You probably don't know Craig Eagle, the comic. He died.
Vaguely familiar.
He's my age, a little older, and between you and me. And he died of a heart attack a couple of weeks ago. Couple of kids, very sad. Only young. And I found out from a guy who didn't like him, so that was a bit tough. Because I did like him. He was always very kind to me.
Okay.
And so yes, it's been that kind of week.
Wow. Yeah, that's news that doesn't really make your day. No. Not indeed. So, hey, I want some advice from you. So
you're going to get it, mate. You are going to get it.
Just before you came on, Fox of Fate actually reminded me. I normally start asking people to help me plan what cocktails I'm going to make on Friday night for the next week of YouTube videos. And I found these Pims recipes. And I'm just interested, just which one you think sounds the most interesting. This one is basically a Pim Sour. So it's gin, Pims, lime juice, grenadine, syrup, and egg white. And you shake it up and it's foaming. So it's like a gin sour with Pims in it as well. It's probably good. And this one they call a Pims Coupe. It's got mezcal and Pims and lemon juice and simple syrup. So it's sort of like a cousin of a margarita almost. Well, this one's called the After Hours Tennis Club. So it's Pims, and they have a whole infusion thing, which I'm not going to do. But it's Pims, bourbon, and bitters. So it's like an old-fashioned with Pims and fruit flavors. Which of those sounds more interesting to you?
I think you're middle.
The mezcal one?
The mezcal. Because I know of your penchants for mezcal.
Yeah.
And I know of your connoisseurship of mezcal. You can tell a smoky mezcal from a normal mezcal to a wormy mezcal. And I've seen you eat the worm. So you are at one with your mezcal.
I've got a wormy,
choose your mezcal wisely. And
yeah.
If I was going to ask someone to choose a mezcal wisely, it'd be that man.
Yeah. My current mezcal has 2 worms in the bottle, and they're still in the bottle. So
I think that's where you're going, my brother.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting because that's kind of the one I was leaning to as well. So there you go.
I had a feeling.
Yeah.
As soon as you said mezcal, I thought, that's my man's drink. Because I've seen you knock that back in a social occasion. It was just you and me, and I thought, fuck me. Because I had a sip of it and gone, muchacha, and other, slurs. This is knocking my fucking eyeballs through the back of my head. And you were just like, gently. See, the thing is, I virtually have to get in there, slap it down. Before it brings out the Chihuahua's teeth, which is like a long stick with obsidian chips in it. It starts to fucking fight back. And it was an Aztec weapon, I think. And I always thought that mezcal had obsidian chips in it, because it fought it fought for its land and fought for its honor and it fought for sacrifices. And I thought, am I drinking to enjoy, or am I drinking to go atop a pyramid and stare a priest in the eye while
That's a
four
big
men
question.
grab my arms as I scream slurs? And he holds the mezcal broken bottle up to the sky and swears to the sun god that this is for the angry feathered snake. Slap. And I've gone, I can't do it the same as angry. He'll just like slip it down. Like it's just gone, like you've fallen into bed. Just slip it down. And I've gone, there's someone who understands mezcal, who's at peace with mezcal, who has come to understanding a spiritual place where, through lots of sweat lodging, meditation and pipe smoking, have come to be firm friends.
Yeah, I mean, I don't often drink it straight. It's really good. Like I tried to describe to someone like why I liked it. It's like, you get in the right cocktail. It's kind of like you're drinking it out of an ashtray, but in a good way. And I've since revised that to the more palatable. It's like smoky barbecue. Okay, it's a smoky barbecue flavor. But
in fact,
being a non-smoker,
what you could also say is you could go, it's like cleaning out a really nice fish smoker when you're done.
It's smoked barbecue has gotten really popular in the last 10 years in Australia. So it's that sort of, because that's how mezcal is different to tequila, because they're both from the agave plant, but the mezcal, they actually bake the agave plant before they macerate it and distill it, and that's where the smokiness comes from, because they've actually baked it before turning it into alcohol. And that's why some tequilas are a little bit smoky, because they do a little. I think the definition is all mezcals are tequila, but not all tequila is mezcal. It's one. It goes one way or the, because there are rules about tequila.
All mezcals are tequila,
but not all tequilas are mezcal.
No. In fact, the majority of tequilas are not mezcal.
Yes, no, very much so. But it's like mezcal is actually a subset of tequila. And they introduced all those strict rules about, to be called tequila, it has to follow these rules. They go, oh no, the French aren't the only ones who can be obsessive wankers. We can say you're only allowed to call it tequila.
But what was starting to happen with tequila, and I know this.
I just want to interrupt. Say night to Dibben. Nice to hear from you, man.
Night, Dibben. Have a good one, man.
Our boy
Dibben.
So thanks for dropping in.
I've got to stop calling people man, because I call everyone man and I call everyone dude. Because when I was a kid, all the girls called each other dude, and they called the guys dude, and all the guys called the guys dude, and all the girls dude. Well, and that was the thing.
You can get away with it.
You can kind of get in trouble for it. And the other thing is everyone called everyone man. And no.
You can kind of get away with it, because my rule for people, and because an enormous amount of women call everyone dude as well. But yes, some people, and I actually agree, it isn't gender neutral. I know if it's a pattern of speech, it's hard to get out of. Like Blind Boy on his podcast keeps referring to lads, and when he says lads, he means everyone. Yeah, but you can get away with it, because my rule is if someone says dude is non-gender specific, my question is, okay, well, do you fuck dudes? And see, you actually get to, and so het women or bi women who say it get away with it, but particularly like when buffheads argue that it's gender neutral, I get a bit thing, and you can normally get a really good reaction out of them going, "Oh, it's gender neutral, so you fuck dudes then."
Well,
So,
I've had my urethra torn anew now by
Oh,
two
yeah.
trans people, and I've gone. I received the message loud and clear. I will no longer be using dude in a gender neutral way. And I got pulled up today on man when I was talking to a lesbian friend, and I should have fucking been awake up to that a mile before I walked into it, but I it's just slipped out, and she's got quite annoyed.
Yeah.
And
You know
said,
what you just reminded me of? Classic moment, Australian TV. I'll do a bit of scene setting for people who are either too young or not Australian. Our annual TV awards, the Logies, the equivalent of the US Emmys. Okay, so it's Australian TV congratulating itself. Cultural cringe meant we always brought in celebrities from overseas to be guests on the show. But there'd been Australian hosting it usually. And one who hosted regularly was Bert Newton, Mr. TV. He was great. And he had Muhammad Ali on as a guest. And this is when Muhammad Ali was still fighting, I think, or very shortly after he retired.
I know exactly where you're going with this.
Yeah. And so Muhammad Ali says something complimentary to Bert. And Bert just looks at the camera and goes, I like the boy. I like the boy. And Muhammad Ali just looks at him and goes, what did you call me? And he goes, did I call you something? And he goes, what did you just say? And he's going like, wait, someone tell me, what did I say? I need to apologize quickly. Tell me the thing I said that was because it's just
Muhammad Ali looked like he was going to punch the fuck out of him.
Calling him boy, for God's sake.
Remember, what was that American entertainer that came to Australia for a lot of years?
Don Lane.
Don Lane bolted in. And
you can find it on YouTube. It's really quite funny. But the thing is, because one of the racial slurs that's never been used in Australia for black people is boy, but it's an incredibly common one in the US. So when Bert Newton said, I like the boy, and Muhammad Ali just go, what did you call me? And Bert's like, what did I say? Oh, Abigail is saying, was that staged? I feel like I can say with absolute confidence, no, it was not. Because no, I'm just quite confident it was not.
Abigail,
staged.
Back in those days, Muhammad Ali had just basically been through a whole bunch of shit about the Vietnam War and had a nation turn against him, right? And he had to basically fight his way back into the good graces of a nation that he'd already won. He'd already won over America. And then the Vietnam War happened, and they basically conscripted him. And he said, I'm not going.
Yeah.
And they said, you are going because you're a celebrity, and we're the government, we tell you what to do. And he used the famous line, and I will say it.
Which is actually possibly not something he said. I know the line. I've looked it up because there's no recording of him saying it. But it was widely attributed. He basically said, I don't have a complaint with the Viet Cong.
The VC, yeah.
The VC are not oppressing me. I've got problems here with people who are oppressing me.
People are oppressing me, but they never hassle me. Why should I go and shoot them?
Yeah.
And
so
he was also just starting to get mixed up in the Nation of Islam.
Like Muslims, yeah, Nation of Islam.
And they fucked him royally. They fucked him out of money. They fucked him out of...
could have been worse. They could have Malcolm X'd him. But,
they screwed him so bad. And he cleverly and gently... one of the things that not a lot of people know, and the reason I'm jumping about a bit here is because it's kind of
Yeah.
necessary, is Howard Cosell was a sports reporter that was famous in America.
Yes, he
Very
was.
famous. If Howard Cosell said it, it was the fucking truth, and it was.
Yeah.
It was. If he prophesied something, that was how it was going to be. It was like The Rock guaranteeing something on WWF. You know, it was going to happen. Anyway, Howard Cosell was a really good friend of Muhammad Ali.
Yes.
To the
Yes,
point
he was.
where they even did a dog and pony show.
Yeah.
And Howard Cosell called him Cassius Clay. And he said, no, my name is now Muhammad Ali. And he said, well, a man has a right to be respected and to be named whatever he likes. And they'd set that up so that he'd be given credence for Muhammad Ali. And he grabbed Muhammad Ali aside and says, mate, they're going to fucking come for you. And they're going to fucking twist everything you say. And he said, and these fucking Nation of Islam motherfuckers are going to suck you dry. And they took 3/4 of his wealth before Muhammad Ali went back to Cosell and said, they're just stoking me. They've taken me for everything. I've lost almost everything. And Cosell said, all right, here's what you do. You put your liquid into real estate and you let those nice white boys in fucking ties fucking flip it. And he said, flip it for you. And Muhammad Ali made a fortune in real estate. And because it was in solid fucking investment, Nation of Islam couldn't get hold of it. Muhammad Ali's name was on the fucking title deed, not Nation of Islam. And so when Nation of Islam came out around with their hand out for the cash, there was no cash to be had. But what was happening was Muhammad Ali had a line of credit in Vegas that was all based on his real estate and, of course, his fight prowess. And he was back in the rich list again, and he slowly extracted himself from the Nation of Islam's rock star, and they slowly fucking drew apart without it being a Malcolm X type situation. He always said he was ashamed of himself turning his back on Malcolm X in Africa. And he always said that, you don't know what you know when you don't know at 17 what you know when you're 70. But, he said he could have done a lot of things smarter. He said the rumble in the jungle was the smartest thing I ever did. Befriending Howard Cosell was the second smartest thing I ever did. And then finally he came good as the All-American sports hero. And he comes to Australia as one of the most famous sports heroes. Boxing was huge in Australia in the 70s.
Australians loved boxing.
Boxing.
I grew up with it.
Muhammad Ali. Watching Muhammad Ali do 10 rounds with someone was a fight to remember. And because he's a super heavyweight, and he'd get in the ring with super heavyweights, and Jesus, those lads could fucking hit. And you'd get the men folk of the house all sitting there going, fuck, Jesus, fucking hell. And they will be saying, fuck, if that was my ribs, they'd be fucking out through the other side of me fucking body and I'd be in an ambulance.
Yeah.
And they would. Ali was asked once on a talk show, those fights you see in the cowboy movies, realistically, how long would they go for 25 minutes, how long would they last? He said about 10 seconds. If you haven't got the fitness of a superstar, that you're not doing that. You're not doing that for more than about 10 seconds. I don't know, Angry, if you've ever been in a fisticuffs, but I know I'm puffed. Now after about 3 seconds, and back in the day when I was very fit, give me 45 seconds and a breather, or I'm screwed.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
the
actual
energy
street
that
fights
takes.
are very inglorious. You always see these videos on YouTube of people wrestling and pulling shirts and because I mean, if you can punch, if you can get your room, and you can end something pretty quickly, because I've seen a few videos like that too, where someone doesn't realize, and the other guy lands 3 or 4 punches in quick succession. If you're on the receiving end of 3 solidly connecting blows in a few seconds, you're not necessarily out, but you are rethinking the situation radically.
Yeah. Either
Um,
get out or get
yeah,
good with your
yeah,
next punch.
yeah.
And when I say get good, I mean land a knockout blow.
Mm,
And if you're not in a place to land a knockout blow on the next punch, get the fuck
yeah,
out, because you are
yeah,
losing and you are about to lose consciousness.
yeah,
You've got about 20 seconds of useful consciousness. Use it
yeah,
to run the fuck away.
yeah. Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah, running's
so
always
he was
good. Actually,
massive.
back to the pronoun thing. I just there's some fun stuff in the chat. Invisible chickens say the dude thing. What if you do you say it if you don't have sex at all? Honestly, if you're asexual, I think you can do it because you are treating all genders the same. You're not sexually interacting with any of them, so the gender is much less of an issue. And I do like Anna. Don't care what you call me, just don't call me late for dinner. And yeah, I think, and she also says that if you get if someone corrects you in good faith and you respond in good faith, that's fine. I think because I'm sure I probably say I think you can get away with saying mate. I probably say man. I probably say mate, and there's probably occasions when I say dude as well. It was never a huge part of my speech pattern, but yeah. If someone says to me, "Don't call me that," that's not my gender. I go, "Oh yeah, no, fair call. Okay, yeah."
And I'm always happy to be corrected. I was happy. It was a few weeks ago now when we were talking to, I think it was Chris from Canada, and I
Yeah.
was making my point about the N word being a phrase that I just do not like, and
Yes.
my point of going, don't nice up something that's ugly.
Yeah.
And he said, okay, look, I'm a black guy. This comes with you're not from round here. This comes with an assumption of superiority that you're not privy to. And that was what pulled me up. And I went, you fucking got a good point there. By expressing that, you are immediately bringing in, I have now put myself 4 rungs above you,
Yes.
status-wise.
Yes.
And here, it's a negation,
Yeah.
not a status renewal, because you can't have status when you're covered in shit and your shirt is torn.
Yeah.
You can't be king shit, even if you're the cowcocky who's fat as a house and hasn't seen his dick in 10 years, right? If you're stinking like horse and got a torn shirt and burnt, you're not status-wise better than the jackaroos and drovers that are black, that are just as skilled, if not more skilled than you. But you can negate them by your N-word, or many other colourful words we have here.
Yes.
But that's more a negation. But over there, as Chris told me, it's a real stepping stone superiority block.
Yeah.
And he made me understand that.
Yeah.
And so I was very, very happy to be educated about that. And
Yeah,
I'm always
sure.
happy to be educated about this is why this hurts. This is why this is wrong. This is why this is not appropriate. And I can see why dude and man, something that I used to use when I was a kiddie at uni. And like I said, all the girls used to use it too, for all the girls and all the guys. And even guys was for everyone. And today I still use guys as for everyone, you know.
Yeah.
So I've got
that's the one I do. I definitely do that. Yeah.
You know, I think I've got to start just saying human.
I say gang, crowd, folks, because guys, that's the one that I do. Hey, you guys, come over here. That is definitely the one I do. And if it's wrong for someone, it's wrong. I saw a really funny routine from a black comedian the other day, and it needs a little bit of explanation. You know, the big difference with Australian accents and American accents, we tend to not pronounce the R at the end of the words, and most American accents they do really hard R's. That's a really big difference in our accent, except in Boston. Boston has, and that might be the Irish thing, but they have an accent really similar to Australians, and they do not
car in the garage.
They do not do hard R's, and this all ties me. You remember how rappers reclaiming the word, it's spelt with an A at the end, nigga. And so then it became a thing. Oh no, that guy says it with a hard. That guy's racist. He says it with a hard R, definitely. And this black comedian he's talking about, he's going, man, I went to Boston. They are serious about their racism there. That is a racist town. And he goes, how serious are they? Man, they say it with a hard R, and they don't say how hard R's. I thought that was a good joke because it's tying up about 4 different things into the one punchline.
This is the thing. This is the thing you're always trying to do in comedy. Is you're trying to layer as many layers as you can in the one sentence. Excuse me, please, for just a moment, and then I'll come back with more epistemological gems.
Yep. I say, Abigail, you slip with guys. I when we were saying things about dudes, I was going, I don't really say that, but at the back of my mind was like, there's something you do. Guys, I slip with guys all the time, and I try not to. And most people won't make a big thing. And if someone says we're not all guys, I try. So you practice screaming, folks, people, gang. Hey, gang, come over here. Motherfuckers, get over here. Rapscallions and reprobates, get over here.
So,
beers and queers. Sorry, what?
So,
yes.
I was in a class.
Yeah. When
someone was talking about new manned missions to the moon.
And yes.
One of the feminazis said staffed missions to the moon, and he's turned around and gone, blame the fucking French. And she's gone, and he's gone, look, it's like this. When the Romans came over and gave us our basis for English, there was a little smattering of Greek thrown in, but it was mostly Saxon Roman, right? The conquered Franco-German Romans who came over to England and invaded them like everyone invades England because, it's just a thing you do on the weekend. And they came in, and the French, who hated the Germans, invaded, and they said, you may not speak any of your dirty language in our court. Right? So they farm pig and they eat pork. Shit and piss are all of a sudden filthy words. and you farm cow and you eat beef.
Yes.
But one of the things was in Roman, man meant human, and then you had fem and vir.
Yeah.
Vir meaning male, fem meaning female. So you didn't have the meaning of man being the penis holder. You had man being human, and they would call each other men, but if they had to denominate, they'd call femme and vir. The French, who wanted to knock out anything the Germans had brought with them first, got rid of that and brought their own naming system, because you know how French tables are female and French chairs are neuter, and French cats are female even if they're tomcats. And French windows are like above the sink are female, but the doors are male. The French window doors are male. So everything in French has a gender. So they dropped the man as not having a gender, and it became gendered. And everything that wasn't man was not man, female. Not male.
This is what happens when your language is the bastard child of 6 other languages.
Well, yeah. I mean, I love the idea that female just means not male. I mean, that's respect for you. Right there. You know, what is it? It's male or the other thing. Do you call anyone cunt in a friendly way? I call fucking everyone cunt in the friendly way.
I love actually explaining to foreign folks, and it seems to particularly troublesome for Americans. Explain Australian men in particular, but women as well. You'll say like, yeah, you're at a pub and there's 2 of you and you're talking, and another friend approaches and is going to join you, and you like them, and you go, oh no, this cunt's here now, and
they'll let any cunt in here. Fuck me.
Whereas, if you sitting there and someone neither of you like comes in the door, you'll just go like, oh, here's your mate. It's just like, if you don't like them, you're not going to call.
If everyone's calling each other cunt, you're okay. But if someone starts to call you mate, fucking start getting behind chairs or leave.
You don't call someone you don't like a cunt unless you're picking a fight.
Yes, but you never call someone you don't like mate unless you want to fight.
Yes. Or in slightly more polite terms, when the Bodyline series was happening in the Ashes test between Australia and England in the mid-20th century, and the Australians thought the rather violent bowling style the English were introducing was very unsportsmanlike, and one of the Australians called the English captain a bastard, but he didn't know someone had called him a bastard, and so he made a formal complaint to the Australian captain that, look, you know, one of them called me a bastard, and it's just not on. And he goes, which one was it? He goes, I couldn't tell who it was. He goes, oh, God damn it, come with me. And he brings the English captain into the dressing room where the whole Australian team's there. He goes, which one of you bastards called this bastard a bastard?
Yeah. That's gone down in the annals. What are you bastards call this bastard a bastard? All of us, I think, boss. I think it was all of us.
Yeah.
We all did.
And I guess more recently, the famous Tism song, This Is Serious Mum, called I Might Be a Cunt, but I'm Not a Fucking Cunt. And the whole song is just couplets of, I might do this bad thing, but I won't do this worse.
Do this bad thing.
Yeah. You know, and then they literally, the chorus is, and it's this really poppy song, like, I might be a cunt, but I'm not a fucking cunt.
You know,
That-
as soon as you said tism, all I could think was defecate on my face, defecate on my face.
That's the one. That's about
Face.
Hitler. That one, and the
Yes.
rumor that was Hitler's sexual perversion. He'd get Eva Braun to crap on his face. Yeah.
Russia's going bad.
Ugh.
The Allies are coming
Greg, the stop
down.
sign. Sorry.
Sit on my head, squeeze him, and show me the brown. I thought that was
Safi, you think I might get a copyright thing? I think my singing's not good enough to actually make content match happen, but you never know.
And TISM have been surprisingly non-litigious. I
was about to say,
don't want to appear in court without the masks.
One of them, the guy who did most of the singing, has been performing for the last 10 years under his real name and making it known that, yeah, I was the singer from TISM. And I can't remember his name, but it's all over YouTube.
Hitler on Barassi.
I think, yeah, possibly. Oh, my God, sorry. I wanted to address this one. Abigail said her son told a really anti-Semitic joke the other day. They had a discussion about it's bad, but he did the teen thing. Well, I think it's funny, but I respect Jews. And it's just... it's not going to work.
It's the new. I'm not racist, but these black motherfuckers.
Yeah. Yes, Abigail, Damien Cowell. Thank you. That is his real name, Damien Cowell. His concerts are all over, and it's the same dude, like the voice.
I've heard him.
Yeah.
I thought there was a bloody match there. Oh, Damien Cowell. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Anna's saying cunts used for people who've seriously ticked me off. Yeah, it's got two contexts in Australia. You say it to your friends or someone you're trying to start a fight with. My favorite is saying it about someone you want to start a fight with, but you're pretending they're not there because you're not talking to them. You're talking to someone going da-da-da-da, and if that cunt doesn't shut up, shit's going down.
Yes.
And then when they arc up, you go, wasn't talking to you, cunt.
Talking about you, not to you, cunt. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes, so much fun to be had with people's psyches here because it is hard to get jailed. It is easy to get arrested. It is hard to get arrested. It is easy to get jailed. We had a situation where there was a woman in our house who was threatening violence, was violent, was smearing body fluids on the walls and doors of housemates with the intent of cursing them, and would put rotting piles of food up around their entryways to make shrines of badness happen. And I, of course, had to deal with all this, and I was directly across from this individual. And the police would get called every fucking night. And one time the police got called 3 times. And I, as caretaker, have to get up and witness all this shit. Often fucking let them in because they'd call me and say, it's the cops, can you let us in? Yes. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Dun, 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 down. Hey guys, I'm pretty sure I know why you're here. Let's go on up. And sometimes it'd be the same people, the same cops. And then one night she's been particularly nasty. She'd actually hit a couple of girls and they were bleeding. She hit one guy and he was bleeding. And I was saying to the cops, this can't go on. And she was also making noise. It's 4 o'clock in the morning, very loudly. And they've gone on noise complaint. And I've said, and we might want to check the violence too. And and I said, look, she's been evicted 2 weeks ago. She's not supposed to be here. It's time to put the fucking cuffs on. And I said, yeah, the trouble is if we arrest her, we'll only just have to let her go again. And, you know, where's she going to go on a night like tonight? And it was pissing rain.
Yeah.
The wind was up and it was pissing rain. It was also lockdown and curfew. And where's she going to go? And I thought, your lockup would be a good place to fucking
Be a great
start.
place. Yeah.
And one of the guys who is more forward than the other went, I cannot fucking stand this. He lived below her. He got onto the trick. He said, I think if the cops can't do it, I think it's the cat team. And fuck, every time you mention the cat team, Jesus, you get a couple of hours of behave out of her. And then eventually they came every time she arced up and she went away. So we found the magic formula. But the cops would not arrest this individual. And one time, one of the girls there said, do I have to burn down this fucking house to get arrested? I said, probably. And you probably have to be seen by 4 people doing it. You probably have to give them advance notice because this individual said she was going to burn down the house. That was partly how we got her evicted. And it was partly how the eviction was expedited because she said she was going to burn down the house. We think she tried it on twice.
Oh my God.
But didn't get it right. She was putting matches into the power sockets and they would flash but not burn. And I would come in to her room, which was left open, and see the matches in the power sockets. And take them out and get the vacuum cleaner and suck out all the carbon because I didn't want the carbon to catch. And then test it. And then I thought I might fuck up the breakers, but I thought, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Because that's a persecution thing and, you know, you don't persecute. Anyway, the whole point of the matter was, yes, getting arrested is hard. However, it's very easy. I went over to yell at a guy at the shopping mall that I go to every day, and I befriended a couple of the homeless folk there. And this guy, I've since found out, he's a toe cutter for homeless people. He goes around homeless people and he says, "Oh, you owe me X amount of dollars."
Oh, this is the guy.
All right. Anyway, so he's pinched this guy's food. It's probably the only fucking food he's going to get all day. So I've been furious. I've wandered over and said, "Oi, do you pinch his sandwich?" And he's got up straight away and gone, push, push, push. They're going, "Oh, come on. Hey, come on. Hey, enough." And he's going, push, push, push. And I'm going, "Oh, come on, get out of it." And he's gone for a swing, and I've gone, no, come on, and pushed him back with my cane. Couldn't get a good swing up, but I pushed him back. And all right, I'm going to walk away till he calms down and then talk to him. I've turned around and I've felt the definite swift of someone trying to punch the back of my head, and I've gone, no. And I've walked away a couple of 4 more steps, swish the back of my hair, just being grazed, and I've gone, what? And I've gone, are you trying to be a big man or something? And then slap straight in my head. And boom, over I go. And I've gone, well, that went all right then. And I've gone, oh, I'm pissing blood out of the nose. That's not desirable. And people have come straight over to me and gone, you're right. Cops and the ambulance have turned up instantly. And I've gone, fucking hell, that's quick. People are haranguing this cop about this guy and where he is. The ambulance folks have done their thing on me, and the cop who's sitting in the ambulance in the shade, I was surprised you didn't have a smoke going.
Oh my God.
Would you like to press charge? And I said, I would. Yes, please. I would. He says, okay, I'm going to need a statement. And I said, is that your cop shop down there? And he says, yeah. You want to lift? No, I'll walk down. Give me something to stick up my nose. I'll just walk in and get that, and I'll walk down and we'll do a statement. I can give you a lift. It's okay. Nah, don't worry about it. Anyway, by the time I walked down the cop station, they'd got him. So he got my statement, and I was honest as I could be, and I thought I might be charged with assault here, because I did fend him off, and I did, attempt to hit him.
Yeah.
And I said to him, look, I'm quite happy to take responsibility for any assault that I want to cause. And the cops sort of went, yeah, I wouldn't worry about it, mate. And I said, oh, yeah. And he said, well, there's so much video of what happened that you could make a 3D walkthrough of the crime. The guy he got caught literally around two corners because the word went out. The cops knew who it was. They've put it on the blower, and the cops driving up the street have gone, there he is. And they grabbed him. He was in the cop shop before I was. And they've asked him several questions, and he's changed his story because they've said, we have got you on several film cameras. Let's have a look at a few. And they showed him these film cameras, like showing him punching me in the head after trying to punch me in the back of the head. That does not play well in court. That never plays well in court.
Yeah.
And you can clearly hear me going, oh, come on. Oh, come on. Oh, what are you trying to be, a big? And that's when he thumped me. So I've done nothing offensive. And he's gone, just, what's it going to be? Yeah. And he's changed his stories and said, oh, that film's contextually all wrong.
Whoa, he's picked up that from somewhere.
And they've gone, tell us how it is wrong. And he said, well, you're not seeing the full story here. If you look at it from another angle. Really?
Another angle?
Shown him from another angle. It's like,
Jesus.
It still looks the same. And apparently he changed his story like 57 times. And they said, look.
Just give up, dude.
Just, what are you going to do? And he said, I don't think this is fair. I'm going to contest. And they said, you're not going to contest. So I'm going to contest. All right, we'll get you a lawyer because you won't be allowed to contest this by yourself.
Better get a lawyer,
There's no fucking way they'll let you.
Better get a real good one.
Has come in that morning and said, you're fucked. You are fucked. Why did you do this? Just say I'm sorry and walk away. And he said, no, it's just unfair. I'm homeless and he was hassling me. So it doesn't matter. You thumped him. He's a 50-year-old cripple. You idiot. And he's fucking had a walking stick.
Oh, my God.
What the fuck were you thinking? And judge has gone, yep, seen you 6 times already. You're out on bail on 3 assault charges as we stand. You can go to jail for 3 months. See you later. Don't worry. Don't bother the jury. You're guilty. You're going.
Yeah.
But I want to say, I'm glad you want to say you're guilty. Boom, boom.
Done.
Because I said, would you want me to stand up in court? And they said, no.
Won't be required.
We won't be needing that. Yeah. It will not be necessary.
Yeah.
It's hard to get arrested in Australia. Yeah. It's easy to go to jail in Australia. I have heard police tell me time and time again.
Yeah.
if you get arrested for something, do not say anything.
Yes, coppers are not your friends. Don't protest your innocence. Don't. That's what I always said to my offspring when they were teenagers and they were starting to go, look, it's conceivable you'll get in trouble one time. It's conceivable you'll end up being interviewed by cops. If that ever happens, do not say anything beyond, I am under 18. I need to have my father here before I answer any questions. Say that very clearly.
And keep saying it until...
And that is literally the only thing you say. But no matter what, do not lie to the cops.
Never.
Just keep saying you're not going to say anything. Because people have been stitched up on murder charges because they were known to the murder victim and they denied they were known to the murder victim. And the cops knew for a fact you were known to the murder victim.
You're gone.
And they went, why would they do it? And they were innocent, and it was like, fucked. Anyway, also, hi, nobody's come in. Hello.
Hey, nobody. How you doing? I'm so close to getting this ready, mate.
Yeah. Now we're talking kilts.
Close.
I love this one from Anna. Learned the word cunt, was with a dad in a restaurant, saw it on a dude's shirt, and very innocently asked dad what it meant, and he spat his drink everywhere. That's pretty good. That is pretty good.
It's fairly, yeah.
Now we're talking kilts, and AZ did have a kilt. I have one, and here's a horrible admission. I have potentially put on too much COVID weight to fit into my kilt. I'm not sure. That would just be a bit of a tragedy, but I got to lose the COVID weight.
I've got to lose the COVID weight real bad.
Nobody just wants you to know he's not worried, so you don't have to stress. So it's all good.
I'd love to have a proper talk to him. I've got to show him something. I'm not going to bore you with the details, but I'm fighting with my computer because it's so good. It's so good that it is frustratingly stopping me do two simple things because they're very persnickety things and they are hard to get to. Effectively, what I want to do is speak to my computer and make a radio play go. Yeah. That will make it quick. That will make it fast. And I will be able to knock out 2 and 3 in a day. If I can't do it, it'll take me 2 days to knock out 1. And we can't do that. We've got to knock out several so we can start people voicing them and start getting them cut together so that then they can be taken, if he agrees, to Dave so that he can over the top of them unless he doesn't want to work that way or unless he doesn't want to do it. So then we can have them stored up so that when Angry does his cocktail, we can watch the show.
Yeah. Nice.
And everybody gets to have a go at being a voice.
Yeah.
Everybody gets to have a go at being the star of the show. And that's what we want, is we want everyone to be a character on one, because the show is essentially the same story every week, but it's got different people in it.
Yeah.
It's a smooth bloody template, let me tell you. I'm very excited about it, but I've got to get my computer to work, and I've been fighting with my fucking computer. And do you remember how I said, I'm so close to being there, I've nearly got it? And unfortunately, the whole fucking house of cards fell down because I realized at the last hurdle that it was never going to do the thing I wanted it to do, to the extent that I wanted it to do it. And I just went, you can fucking move satellites with a command. but you can't change the font size of text.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay.
Fuck. And this time round, I'm having the same issue with this other version of how to do it. You can make this thing get up and beg, but you can't change the font size of text. There is a way to do it. There is a way to do it, but I've got to find that way.
Yeah. And, nobody's actually suggesting that you have a chat sometime. He's saying you might even be able to remotely access his computer and edit together. But he's basically saying you should just find a way to chat at some point. And I don't know why this popped back into my head, but you know how I often look up live stream, did anything happen on this day? And I couldn't be asked. Well, there was actually a whole bunch of potentials, and I just know, but one leapt out at me. It's Saint Scholastica's day. Now, Scholastica was an Italian nun who was reputed to have founded the Benedictine nuns. So I should have made a drink with Benedictine tonight because she's the patron saint of the Benedictine nuns. But that's just mildly, a Christian Saints Day. What I found on Wikipedia today is the anniversary of the Saint Scholastica Day riot, because it's Saint Scholastica Day. And I go, why was there a riot? And I fucking love this story. Okay. In 1355, the disturbance began when two students from the University of Oxford complained about the quality of wine served to them in the Swindlestock Tavern, which was based in Carfax in the centre of town. The students quarrelled with the taverner. The argument quickly escalated to blows. The inn's customers joined in on both sides. I'm not sure how they decided whose side they're on, but basically everyone's swinging, and the resulting melee turns into a riot. The violence started by the bar brawl continued over 3 days, with armed gangs coming in from the countryside to assist the townspeople attacking the university.
I was going to say, this is a classic townies versus uni fight. It is classic.
This shit has been going on since the 1300s. University halls and students' accommodation were raided and the inhabitants murdered. There were some reports of clerics being scalped. Around 30 townsfolk were killed, as were up to 63 members of the university. So, Saint Scholastica's Day, a riot kills 100 people. It just starts literally like, this is shit. Why are you giving me shit? Fuck you, uni boy. Fuck you, you towny fuck. And then biff. And my personal favorite is, as it spread over days and word spread around, people come in from the countryside like, yep, I'm so fucking sick of those university types, and let's just go in and murder some of them. And it's, oh my God, that I love that story.
But does that not remind you of Bathurst or fucking what? Fucking, if you want to find a townie.
Yeah, people say that uni students are uppity today.
These motherfuckers used to say shit. Oh, the fucking students are here. Oh, I wish they could stay home and just send the checks in. Because fucking that uni used to fucking give that fucking town, that shithole, $10 million a week.
Oh, and it was fucking vital to their economy.
Died without it. But, they had to have the students with it. And like, fuck you, you towny fuck. You know, fucking you'll sell me bread, won't you? You'll sell me beer. You'll be happy to do that. But fucking don't give me any dignity, you prick, while you drive your fucking BMW around that I bought you.
Yeah. You remember Ben Heaps? He had this big thing about not wanting to drink in uni pubs, and he'd go in the towny pub. And when I was at college, like, okay, people remember the haircut I had for my whole YouTube life, the short, spiky thing. I basically had that since I was 20. But also when I was at uni, I had a friend who was a hairdresser, And she's saying how boring they all were in Bathurst. And I went, oh, you can do whatever you want to my hair. So she would cut patterns into the side of my head, which would generate quite a bit of conversation from people who didn't know me. And anyway, so a mate who didn't want to go to a student pub went to a townie pub because he just thought it'd be quieter and less hassle. I'm going to the bar to get a round of drinks, and I've got wild patterns cut into my head. And there were these 4 town, like big football playing motherfuckers. And there was 4 of them. And they're at a table, and I walked past them, and there was something, like, and you can kind of tell when it's at you. At the corner of my eye, because that one making uni student. And I just ignore them, dude. There's fucking 4 of them. Just ignore it. And I went to the bar, got the drinks, carrying the drinks back, and I walked past, and they started up again, and I'm just going to ignore you. And one of them sort of leaned into my puff and said, "Nice haircut, mate." And I thought, this is dangerous. This is dangerous. They've decided I'm weird and dangerous and probably gay. And I just stopped and just stared this guy in the eyes, had no expression in my face, and then tonelessly said, "Thank you. I'm glad you like it." And they all, their eyes just went wide, and they just went, "Oh no, he's one of the crazy ones." And they just went, no, I like it. It's good. It's good. And, it's good. And I just realized, oh my God, that freak. I wasn't really trying to freak them out, but I went, oh my God, there's 4 of them. They're all bigger than me, and they're scared of me now because they think they've got this crazy drug fiend idea in their head now. And so I walked away because I'm capable of being a little bit crazy, but not crazy enough to start things.
Take on 4 fucking townies. No, fuck that. I got hit on the back of the head with an ashtray by a townie once who was trying to start a pub brawl at the pub.
Oh, Jesus.
It was a fucking shithole, that place. And I was there, and I was talking to my mates, and they've all gone behind me, and I've gone, I'm being upstaged. What the fuck? And I've started to move my head.
Yeah.
And I was fucking lucky I started to move my head because the ashtray came in the direction, this side, in the direction that I was moving my head. So I didn't get the full belt.
Ooh. Yeah, okay.
The ashtray broke, but my head spun with it. And I got a fucking nice cut. All up my back of my head, and it, blood.
Oh yeah, scalp wounds. Scalp wounds.
Blood coming all the way down my neck and down my back, and down my down into my pants, and I've gone, ooh, that's fucking hurt me, and I've gone, ooh, that's not good, and I've seen this bloke with half an ashtray looking at me. And he's looking at me going, oh, fuck, it didn't work. Oh, shit. What am I going to do now? And then he's come back with this broken ashtray to punch me with it. And I've gone, I have pretty much got to do something about this immediately, or I'm going to get a lacerated face and or neck. So I've leaned into him and face palmed him and tiger clawed his eyes and kneed him in the balls. And as I've brought my knee away, I've cracked his knee. And I thought, oh, I'm gone now because his mates are going to come and destroy me. And the whole bar stopped. And they've just gone, oh, my God, he's decimated this fucking guy. And all I've done is effectively pushed him away and grabbed his eyes because I wanted to shut him down. And kneed him in the balls because I didn't like him. Then as I pulled my knee away, I just caught him on a funny angle and went crack. I didn't intend to break his knee. And he just went poof down like a bag of shit. And like all of his tough mates behind him that were quite happy to start a fight with somebody who was going to be unconscious on the ground have all backed up. The cops are there in seconds. The ambulance turns up later because they decided to have smokers out the back before the cops could, until the cops settle everything down. I've waited there going, and the cops will be wanting to talk to me about that guy. And my mates are busy going, dude, you need to go to the hospital. I say, yes, I do, but the cops need to talk to me first. You know that. I know that. And the cops have come in and looked at me and gone, all right. And they've said, you probably need some medical attention, because I can only see forward. I can't see the back of my
you can't
head.
see
It's now
back.
matted with blood. And this gushing fucking blood coming out down my back and into my pants. And they said, yeah, do you want to come out with us to the ambulance and give us your version of the story? Yes, I will. Look, just be a bit careful. This guy is asleep, but he's got a broken ashtray. And they've gone, oh. And I've told them my version of the story. Turns out my version of the story matched up with 20 other versions of the story. And I've gone, oh, look, I understand I've assaulted him. I understand that I'm responsible for that. And they've gone, that's fair, but he did hit you in the back of the head with the ashtray, which broke and cut you very badly. Yes. I said, it is stinging a bit. And they've gone, we are not surprised at that. We are going to give you to this ambulance officer now, and we may come and chat to you soon. Anyway, back in those days, they let someone drive with you in the ambulance. And one of the guys came with me. And I've gone, well, I'm sorry, fellas. I didn't mean to end your fucking night that quick, because we weren't pissed. By this point, we intended to be, but we weren't. We'd only had a couple of beers. Mm-hmm. And I said, I don't know why that guy hit me with a fucking ashtray. I hadn't spoken to him. And that was the other thing that got around the pub real fast, is no one saw us speak. And the attacker, when he woke up in hospital, said, oh, he was bad-mouthing me all day. And he was bad-mouthing me all through the pub and all. But you can ask anyone, and they'll tell you. And they asked me, what did you say about him? I don't know who it was. I've never met him before. And anyway, so they put 15 stitches in the back of my head.
Wow.
And the doctor wanted to put butterfly clips on. And the nurses looked at him and went, no, Vishod, you're going to stitch him. Butterfly clips will be fine. No, Vishod, you're going to stitch him. Oof. But that will take a long time. Yes, Vishod, you're going to stitch him. Well, I was starting, maybe you will finish. Yes, Vishod. And these women did these stitches in such beautiful, tight, such a beautiful, tight fashion. Skin didn't pucker or anything. There is virtually no scar under here. There's virtually nothing there.
Oh, God.
And they were talking to me and said, what the fuck happened to you? And I went, well, I don't know. And they said, you don't seem to have a concussion. And my mate said his head was actually turning in the way that he was being hit as it was happening. So it spun with, and I remember feeling my head being wrenched around as the ashtray hit. And it hurt. Don't get me wrong. It can hurt. And the cut stung. But to this day, I don't know why he hit me with the ashtray. I think he was just trying to start a fight. And he tried to find one of the biggest motherfuckers there, and put him down. And I was one of the biggest motherfuckers there, and he put me down all right.
God damn. Well, that's a story to take us to bedtime, because it is in fact bedtime.
It is in fact bedtime. Gotta love that.
You're making me want to tell my head wound story when I retell it, because I've told it several times and it normally gets.
I love your head wound story.
Being hit in the head with a discus when I was at school,
awesome, though.
Which should have killed me, but I got real lucky.
You do have a abnormally large head.
Oh my God. I saw the x-rays and I was like, so last thing I saw looked like that was in a science textbook and it was labeled Cro-Magnon man. What the fuck is that my skull?
Is that my head?
That's like really fucking thick. Anyway, so good night all.
Good night to you all.
Well,
thank you, humans.
See you all anon. Yeah. And I think nobody has sent you an email, Aidsy, so look out for that. And I'll see all you fine folk anon.